Hello, everyone. Welcome back to From Hot Girls to Hot Flashes. Hey, Kiki.
Hey, J. Renee.
You look so cute. Look at
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Got on my
You look
God Got Me t-shirt.
and in the meantime, woo is for the children.
Yep.
Yes, yes. Oh my God. Listen, you guys, we are talking about positivity. The month of July has been great. Thank you all so much for the support. And thank you for leaning into the positivity itself because it is hard out here, guys. It is hard with everything going on. Kiki, you see the prices have gone up in gas yet again.
Girl, price have gone up on everything yet again.
Mhm.
I always fret about the prices of things and money and spending. And so yeah, everything is expensive right now. We went bought groceries and spent almost $300 on the same stuff we always buy. And it's like, yes, the same stuff. We had a list and my husband, he does the shopping because. Anyway, so he went to the store and he came home. He was like, I bought everything on the list and I spent like $260.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No ham, no burger. Okay, so let me just listen. $300 and it's just the two of you?
Yes.
Okay, it's the two of us and 300. Now listen, Ronald does the shopping here as well because he loves to do things like that. Now, I don't have an issue with it, but that's his happy place. That's the thing that allows him to unwind. You know how some people love to clean, some people, love to garden. My husband, he grocery shops and kitchen things like that. $300
It's a
for
lot.
two people is
Yes.
insane,
And that's a
especially.
couple times a month. Yeah, it's a lot. Stuff is high. Life is expensive, people.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
dealing with perimenopause is like, okay, find the positivity, but it's hard when
it's
every
hard.
time you turn around, you go to the gas pump and we don't have
$61.62 the other day to fill up my car. 61.72.
6172. And don't you don't say what kind of car you have, but you have a sedan, right?
Yeah, but it has a big tank. It's my tank is big.
Is it
So
V8?
it's like no, but it's like a 18-gallon tank or something for whatever reason, and it just takes a lot to fill my car up. So
Okay,
yeah.
so let me digress, you guys. We are not mechanics, so we just talking about the state of things. V8 engine is a gas guzzler. V6, very good on gas. Now we do know those things.
Yes.
So, in light
Um,
of everything that Kiki's talking about, everything that I'm talking about, it's still something to be positive and make sure that you're putting on a positive face because it's so difficult in the grand scheme of things. Kiki
mhm.
just mentioned money. That's what I want to talk about today. Staying positive or keeping your head above water in the midst of all the gunk and the junk and the bullshit that is currently going on in the world. So, Kiki, you just mentioned like the money that your husband just spent at the grocery store. How long has that been the norm? And y'all, we're talking about all this stuff even while we're going through the perimenopausal journey. All of it is connected because every little thing means so much more than what it used to.
Mhm. It
So, Kiki,
does.
what were you talking about?
So, I mean, it's just been lately, everything is higher now. Every time you go to the store, everything costs more. So it's everything. And then, I've been having doctor's appointments. So all of that stuff is adding to every time I go, there's a copay or oh, you're having this little procedure and it's $330. So all this stuff is just so expensive. And it's every
Girl,
time you turn around, the price of
yes,
everything. And
yes.
I'm driving around yesterday. Gas is
Oh my
like
God.
$4 a gallon again. And the price of a little pack of ground turkey went from $2 and something to $4 and something, and it's like, "Well, wait a minute now."
And
Um,
it just makes me more and more upset when I think about it, because now turning over to the medical piece, you know, perimenopause, medical issues, we have health concerns. And y'all going to the doctor to pay a $40, $50 copay when you have doctor's appointments. I would say at first I would say 3 times a month. But listen, as you get older,
yeah,
you have doctor's
with
appointments
different
on a
specialists.
regular basis.
So I
So
went to
that's
my
girl,
regular doctor, I went to my, gastroenterologist, I went to the eye surgeon's office. So yeah, it's like
and
there's
all this has
everybody.
been what in the past week and a half.
Yes,
So y'all, we're
yes.
talking about 10 days. Say 10 days, 3 doctor's visits. Let's say the average copay
$45
is
each.
$60. Huh?
$45 each. And then
So
people are like,
two
"Oh,
dishes is already
$45 isn't
$90.
that much." But, when you're looking at it from a lens of, we just spent $300 on groceries, just spent $60 on gas, and I'm having $45 every time I go, that adds up, and we don't make a whole lot of money over here. We are not, rich folks. So it does, take a toll on your mental health at some point.
And the reason why I'm looking like that, y'all, is because when we talk about positivity, money in our culture, money is always a concern. And when I say our culture, I'm speaking specifically to the Black Southern woman. Okay. I can't speak for the Northern sisters. I can't speak for the West Coast chicks, even though I have a California crew and yeah, their concerns are not our concerns. Okay. So the Black Southern woman, we are known to keep the family together. We known to hold it in the road while at the same time praising the Lord and being the best wife or girlfriend you can be while at the same time handling the mother thing.
Yeah.
That's enough
It
for
gets hard.
anybody to want to pull their hair out.
Yes, it gets rough, and I had a really rough time this week. I have been struggling with like the financial thing, my health. We had a loss in our family, and so it's just been really weighing down on me. And I had like over the weekend we were dealing with that, then came back to work early in the week, and I just felt like really out of sorts. And so one of my friends, I don't know how he felt it, but he sent me this song. It was called "The Struggle Is Over." And I pulled it up, start listening to it, and I started crying. And you all know me, I'm not a big crier. I'm not, I hold my emotions in. I'm that girl. You ask, "How are you doing?" "Oh, I'm fine." I feel like I have to be strong for
90s
everybody
thug life. Okay,
all
go
the
ahead.
time. Yeah, and thugs don't cry. Um, so I have to be strong for everybody all the time. And so I called him. I was like, "You sent me this. It has me over here emotional." I was telling him what was going on in my life. And he was like, "So I'm gonna ask you something because you're always doing something for somebody. You were just out the other day trying to uplift one of your friends. You say you have to pour into people. You called me and pour into me." He said, "Who pours into you? When you're the one who always giving, who's always doing, who is the one who pours into you?" And I was like, "Well, I have people who pour into me." And then I thought about it. And I was reading this book recently by N.W. Brown. It was called Truly Your Always Yours. And the main female character was strong. I'm strong. I have to hold together. I can't let people see me crack. I can't, let people see my emotions. I have to hold it together. And I was thinking, that's me. Like I had this epiphany. Like, oh
Mhm,
my gosh, I'm that girl. And the female, she got on my nerves through the whole book. I loved the book. I hated her. Like all this. It was a 5-star read for me because I'm like, I have this love-hate relationship, but it was a really good book.
mhm.
Um, but I saw myself in her because I'm like, I am that person who always has to have it together. I'm always the one who has to be strong. I'm always the one who has to be positive and uplift other people and always giving to other people emotionally. But I'm always, "Oh, I'm fine." And I do not accept the help and I do not let people pour into me. And I have to get
Don't.
better with that. So I'm
You
working on
do.
it because I
You
don't
do.
have, it's not that I don't have people who try, who want to. It's just that I have a really hard time with accepting the help or accepting all the good vibes once they're offered. And
And
so
why do
that's
you suppose that is? Why do you suppose that as a Black Southern woman, it's always hard to, just say, "Okay, thank you. I appreciate it." Instead, we have this inner thing that's always, "Nope, nope, I got it." The world is on fire around you and you still smiling.
yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because we're taught to be strong, right? Especially in my case, I was somebody's mama really young, and so I had to grow up quick and I had to be strong. I could not let people see me fail at being a parent because I was the one who chose to be a parent when I was so young. So I have to hold it together not only for my child and then children, but I had to hold it together so the world did not be like, "Oh, I knew she was going to be a statistic. I knew she wasn't going to be able to do anything.
Mm,
I knew she wasn't going to make anything of herself." Like, "No, ma'am, I made something of myself. My children have too, and we're
mm,
thriving." But on the
mhm,
inside, they're hard days,
right.
days where you just barely holding it together, days where it's like, why am I here? And what is this? What's the purpose? And then I have to remember what my daddy told me right before he passed. God got you.
Let's see that
He,
shirt, girl. Hold that, hold
God,
that, hold that, hold
God
that
got
computer
me.
down. Hold the computer down. Don't hold your
You
shirt up. Hold it.
can't hold a computer too far down. You don't know what's happening down low at this party down here. So I have to try to keep the computer high. The party happening at the bottom down there. So
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
But
But
he
yes,
always said that God got me, and if God got me, nobody can come against me, and I try to remind myself of that because,
mhm,
you know, and try not to make this a whole spiritual show or anything like that, but you have to hold on to something. On those negative days, something has to get you through, and we
mhm,
talk about positivity. You have to find your positive thing that's gonna get
right,
you through.
right. Yeah, public perception is a bitch. Let's just call it what it is. We are supposed to look a certain way, we're supposed to act a certain way, we're supposed to sound a certain way, we're supposed to move a certain way. And Kiki, I understand exactly what you're talking about because I used to have those same feelings and thoughts, not as someone's mother, but as my place in my family, so to speak. You know, my family is, you know, very community based, very service minded, you know, just further down south. And there is a perception that goes along with that. Something that is put into you when you're young. You need to make sure that you do this. You need to do it like that. Don't do it like
Mhm.
that. Like
Yeah.
public perception is everything. And you guys, we tend to carry that with us.
Mhm.
But think about it. When we get into perimenopause, fuck what you heard. Ain't nobody studying that. I don't care. Let me tell y'all something. Not for nothing, Kiki. I love the fact that you lean on what Mr. Eddie, you know, left with you and things like that is so good. That is so needed. Like you said, you need something to hold on to. For self, I kinda let go that way of thinking years ago after my sister transitioned about a decade ago. It'll be a decade in November. And y'all, speaking on positivity, that woman can make me laugh like no other person. When I get down, I just think about, you know, what would she say about this? Or what kind of smart remark, you know, would she have? So for about 10 years, I've let go the public perception, and it's what it's gonna be. I mean, hey, you see what I'm rocking. You know, Woo is for the children and every listen, let me tell you something. They are on my bucket list, by the way, quick side note, going to see them in a couple of months. The Rebel Lioness, Ghostface, yes! But anyway, that is my joy, and that is my zen when I have good music, a good artist, something to vibe to. It doesn't even have to be music. It could be a book. You and I are both readers. We love things that make us feel. We're laughing about the fact that that book made you, but that y'all, that's how it is. And
Mhm.
being positive now more than ever is so important. How do you get positive, especially in light of the money we're spending, the
Yes.
stress that comes along with that, losing family members, dealing with bills, dealing with health concerns. How do we combat that? By finding what brings you that bright feeling on the inside. Yes, we've
Mhm.
heard about, "Oh, this gives me joy. This gives me so much happiness. This is my light." Stop playing around with it.
Mhm.
What is your happiness?
Yeah.
What brings you light? I've seen you, Kiki, with the little ones. I've
Oh, yeah.
seen how they change everything in you, even the way you talk. And I'm up there like, okay. But it gives you joy, and it gives you this brightness, and you
Mhm.
can see it from the outside. So flashers, what is it that makes you bright from the inside? When you
Yeah.
tap into that, when I tell you this positivity thing is not as rough as it seems, because until something changes in the government, better get you a budget
We'll
book.
be right here. Yes.
Girl, listen,
Mhm.
or start cutting the corners. I am
Yeah.
with the coffee company that I am not promoting right now, but these things are turning into luxuries.
Oh, yeah,
And
for
y'all, when
sure.
you have a cup of coffee that's turning into a
Mhm.
luxury, that doesn't concern you. And in
Mhm.
perimenopause,
Sure.
you know, we'll take one thing in that mind and just run it in the ground. So these
Yes,
are things
like,
to
you
think
have to
about.
have those things, and those things add up, you know? I have a weakness of Chick-fil-A, like, "Oh my gosh, I need to go to Chick-fil-A and get me some fries," and, you know, and you have to think about it, like, it's only, what, $4, but do I wanna go spend this $4 today, or do I wanna save it so that I can have more money to spend on something else that I wanna do? So you have
Mhm.
to, you know, think about those things because money is tight. You have to make those what's most important to me this week that I spend my money on, so, you know.
Yeah. And perimenopause will make you it will make you go down a rabbit hole and seize up and stress, especially if money is a concern And it is a concern for the majority of us these days. Y'all, perimenopause brain will have you stressing and struggling and straining and trying to think when you feel that coming on, because you feel it coming on now because you can
Yeah.
recognize the signs.
Mhm.
When you feel it coming on, find that brightness. What is that
Yeah.
song that makes you smile? What is that reel that your partner sent you that made you laugh? Oh, and shout out to the Honey Bunnies last week. Oh, that got a
Yes.
lot of traffic. People were very, very happy about that. Actually had a guy say, "Thank you so much. I feel seen." So I'm glad you felt
Yes.
seen.
My
So
honey
yeah.
bunny.
Yeah. So find that, y'all. Find that light. Find that positivity. We're in a heat wave down here down
Literally.
south. And yes, at the end of the month, this is the end of July, but it's still continuing. The hits just keep on coming, the rain, the tornadoes, the money, the government, just everything, war.
Yes.
Find that
Be
brightness.
positive.
Find
Yes.
that brightness, whatever it takes. All right,
Yeah.
Kiki, is there anything else you'd like to add for this week as we close out the month of July?
I just wanna thank you, Flashers. I know this month has been a little different for us than we normally do. Thank you all so much for all the support. Thank you for understanding and being a listening ear because, we get on here and we open up and tell you about what's happening in our lives because you're our family, you're our tribe. So we appreciate you for listening. We appreciate the feedback. So we will see you all next week. Thank you all so much.
All right, until next time. Bye, Flashers.
Bye.